So, one day, there was this guy, Billy Bob Jr., and, he was driving along. Traffic was pretty bad. But, that's typical traffic for you. And then, he saw the man conducting traffic. And he was like, hey, conducting traffic looks like so much fun. I might want to try that. So, he went to traffic conducting license. He got his traffic conducting license, okay? And then he went out one day. He started conducting traffic. When all of a sudden, he just, I don't know what happened, but he conducted, traffic, and so this huge 18-wheeler came through, and he was, hauling it. And then he let this car come through, and then they ended up getting in this huge wreck. And then, 8 cars got involved somehow. I don't know. It was crazy. And then there was this huge explosion, and they all died. Except for the traffic conductor, right? And he was they took away his traffic conducting license. They were like, dude, you can't do this anymore.
So then, he went to an orchestra, and he listened to them, and he saw the conductor conducting the band at the orchestra. And he was like, I want to do that. That looks so fun. So he went to music school and he learned how to conduct. And so he was conducting one day. He was really nervous. And so his hands were kind of sweaty. And the baton just flew out of his hand and it hit a flute player in the eye. And then the flute player's flute flew up and choked someone. And then somehow a violin caught on fire. Anyway, long story short, people died. So the people came from the music school and they were like, okay, you cannot do this anymore. You can't kill people. And so they took away his conducting degree. Then the guy was like, man, I guess I better go home. And so he ended up riding a train on his way home. And then, the conductor was coming by and he was, taking the tickets and everything. And he's like, wow, I want to conduct a train. That looks so awesome. You can meet all these people and, trains are cool, I mean, I like trains. I like trains. He liked trains. And so, so he went to school again and became a train conductor. But then one day, this was his 5th time conducting the train, right? So he's conducting whatever. And then all of a sudden he misses his turn. I don't know how that happened, but it just happened. And so it was along a steep hill, right? So then the train just goes tumbling down. And then all these people on the train were just dead. And it was horrible. And, he felt so bad. Because, he was the only one that lived. And he felt wow, I shouldn't have, been able to live through all of this. Because he's been some crazy stuff in his life. So, finally the police came. And they were like, dude, you've killed all these people. You need to be on death row. So then they took him in, and they were going to electrocute him in the electric chair. So they were like, okay, what's your last meal? And so he ordered a big old steak with some pudding and a good glass of Sunny D, and he ate it all up, and then they brought him to the room to get electrocuted. And they strapped him in the chair, and he was just kind of sitting there. And then they put the little thing on his head, whatever. They turned it on, and nothing happened. He was like, what? And they were like, this is weird. And so they turned it up higher, and nothing happened. And so they thought it was the chair. And so they were like, okay, we're going to get a new chair, and we'll just try again tomorrow. Go back to your cell. So then, he gets up, has his last meal again, because, this time it's going to be his last, right? So they strap him into the Electro Chair 3000. The newest kind, It's crazy. They put up the voltage to the right, whatever. They press the button, nothing happens.
And then everyone's so confused, like they check to see if it's plugged in. They unplug it, plug it in again just to make sure. Press the little reset button on the whatever. Anyways, so they decide to go up voltage. And then all of a sudden, they press the button, nothing happens. So, they send him back to his cell, and
they go in his cell, and they're like, dude, what's up? Like, why isn't this working?
Why aren't you dead yet?
And the guy says, well, I've never been a good conductor.
And that's all.
So yeah.